It seems to be broadcasting now.
Yeah,
I haven't turned on any sound, so I don't know if anybody's there. Let's see. Power will come back. Log in. Log in. If you can hear us, we're trying. Yesterday, in all areas, it seems. I think this thing has gone into retrograde. I think that's all working now, Ramagiri. So, now let's see if we can get this one running.
Yeah, it's really intense. Welcome to a party, and I guess you're not a committee or anything.
Jnana group. Oh, it's buzzing.
Beautiful green hills.
Something's buzzing. Maybe it's me buzzing, huh? That'd be fun if I started buzzing. B. There everybody is. They can't hear us, but we can see that they're there. Okay, start this. Cook up this. And let's see, start sharing. Namaste, everybody. Namaste. You know, today is just a Mercury in retrograde day. I actually don't know. I have no clue if it's in retrograde, okay? It's just, it appears that something is happening. You know, first of all, we invited someone to come and stay, and they couldn't get in. We had to actually dismantle the whole door lock in order to allow them to get in. Luckily, we had to do that, you know, that was nice because she arrived just before everybody else arrived here. And so they all had their pleasure of just coming in. But then somebody walked in and thought that someone had stolen the lock out of the door and run off down the street with it. But that wasn't the case. So. And then we couldn't get the electronics working. So, but we're here now, right? And I don't think this is on. That's kind of...
What happened to the lock?
You were wondering what happened to the lock. Everybody was wondering what happened to the lock. It's all right. It's really not that exciting. You don't want to see it. It's just a hole through the door where the lock used to be. That's all. So, in all of that fun, let's see what we can do today, huh? Remember to record. I wouldn't have done. Thank you so much, James. I would have not had any memory for that. And everybody, the book is coming up very nicely, I think. We've got so many, I think we're up to close to 50 people who've sent pictures in, and so I think yours is included, Charlene, too. So, yeah, so you'll all get to see how everybody looks. When I say everybody, everybody's body looks, okay? But whose body is it anyway? Let's go ahead and put the record on. Namaste, Kate. Oh, now it's typing in Devanagari. That's not going to work. 30, what is it today? 17, 16. All right. Oh, I was expecting so much more. Okay. Huh. It's okay, it's here, you're safe. We didn't have to rely on some prayer for memory to kick in too much. Huh?
May I pen from plastic?
Oh, you can, from plastic pot, yes. does it need, you might need to keep it there because we don't know who works and who doesn't. 17th of March, yes, it is the 17th of March. That started talking now, but it's okay, we'll just ignore it. All right, let's see how far we get today before everything, no, nothing's going to fold up, it's all going to be good, it's all just fine, okay? Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, so where did we leave off yesterday? Not that long ago. I think we were taught, oh good, Nirmala's here, so Nirmala's going to hopefully let us know, huh? I think we were talking about Karma Yoga, and what was the takeaway? I think that's what, not looking forward to the last class. Don't worry, I don't think we're going to get through it all today. I tried my hardest this morning to push everything into like a little box, and if somebody had been here to hold that little box of notes, I'd have had them hold it really tight, pulled the tape across, but it just kept popping out everywhere. So we'll see how far we get, okay? It'll be tomorrow, I think. They're all typing now. So, okay, so I think we were talking about what the takeaway for Karma Yoga was. Not the kind of takeaway that we might all be thinking about right now. It's called takeaway. No, to go over here. In England, it's called takeaway. What's called takeaway? Any food that you can go and get from the takeaway place, right? So in England, it is called takeaway. But what's the takeaway from Karma Yoga? This is not a kind of takeaway that one will get probably in a restaurant, okay? Or what they call restaurant. I don't know that fish and chips necessarily. Fish and chips, I don't think we could rise to restaurant for fish and chips, okay? But, so, namaste everybody, namaste. Oh, now we have to turn off the mail too, because that's starting to all go mad. Okay, so what was our takeaway? Our takeaway was that we need a mind that is discriminating. We need to have an attitude of prasada buddhi. What is prasada buddhi? It's a buddhi that's full of prasad because it was Ganesh Chaturthi and everybody had too many ladus. No? Prasada buddhi? No? No? Ishvara's grace. Excellent. allowing whatever comes to be able to see that as nothing other than what is, that this is Ishvara's grace. It's very easy to do. Well, these words might have to be swallowed back in a minute, okay? Usually easier to do when something nice is happening. Somebody said to me this morning, they have one of these jobs where they work so many hours a week, and they were saying, oh, I'm so looking forward to tomorrow because today is my Friday and tomorrow we're going to Lake Tahoe for a whole week because it's spring break here in Oregon and we're all going off to Lake Tahoe. So in that case, it might be very easy to have prasada buddhi, wow, what has Ishvara done so great. But on the other side, it might also be that the ahankara is saying, we worked so hard, we really deserve this. And see, we all do these good jobs, and so therefore we get paid. And so it was me who brought around this whole, going away and having this opportunity to go away. So is this prasada buddhi? Not exactly. No, this is Ishvara's grace. This is all given, like everything is given for us. The other place where it might not be so easy is when you're driving home from work after your day of work, and you want to get home. Let's say let's make it better. You really want to get to the Vedanta class, and so you're driving home, and every single light that you come across, and there's 14 of them in between you and home. How do you know? Because every single one of them was red. And so in order to keep yourself entertained at every red light, you had a little hash mark thing going, and up one light, red, next one, red. So you knew that there was 14 lights. Now, prasada buddhi, where does it go? I'm going to be late. I hate walking into class late, or I hate signing on late. All of these thoughts will come. So again, prasada buddhi. What would that look like in that situation? Everybody's very quiet today here, you know. Nobody's had their lunch yet. It would be sitting and waiting for the light. That's it. Appreciating all the, yes, Ramagiri says, appreciating all the cars driving forward in front of you, hoping none of them comes, you know, mistakenly into your lane, coming straight towards you. And so, no, it's all, you just recognize, you can recognize what comes up. Oh, frustration. Interesting. That's what the jiva does. The jiva is not where the I needs to be placed, though, okay? So, prasada buddhi, accepting what comes. Testing on the roads. Testing on the roads. Say a little bit more about that, Pratima. Testing on the roads. I'm not sure that I'm following that. So prasada buddhi, anyway, so prasada buddhi is accepting what comes your way. So what am I going to get from this? Well, a lot of peace of mind, for one. So I think that's, you know, that's worth it in and of itself. So the other places that we need to stay on top of are with reference to having expectations. Again, all the lights were red and they weren't. And accepting what's going to come in the future. And also letting go of any sense of mindness. And also watching the anger, the frustration with every red light that comes along. And just watching it, letting it come up, acknowledge it, pat it on the head, and let it just resolve. It doesn't need to come out any further than that. It doesn't need to be expressed. But okay, this is all sounding very idyllic, and what a lovely world, you know, these sannyasas must live in, these jnanis must live in, but they don't have to deal with what I have to deal with every day. No, they don't have to deal with what you have to deal with every day in one way. But let me tell you, every single sannyas, every single jnani has to deal with what? A jiva. And a croaky old... there you go, look at that. Oh. This one? I don't know if you can all hear this, but you know, we're getting all sorts of little rattlies and things today. So one just prasada buddhi, okay? So this is prasada buddhi at work. So a jnani still has to deal with what? The jiva. The jnani isn't seeing themselves as the jiva, but that mind and everything that mind brings, the jnani still has to deal with. And imagine dealing with that when there's nothing to distract you from it. When you don't have a job to go to escape from who? Not the family, not the children, but oneself. The voice is rattling too, so I don't know what's rattling more. It's the speaker or the voice. Oh, we'll see how long we can keep going today, okay? Sounds like the voice might just give up completely. But we'll see. We definitely won't get through all the text if this disappears completely, okay? Maybe we could do it in Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Para, you know, do the whole Dakshinamurti thing. So,
would you like some water?
A little water might be good. Thank you, Phyllis. Yeah, this is not a case of the the frog jiva hasn't gone in, you know. If I start hopping around and if the tongue starts coming out trying to catch some flies, then maybe we need to start getting worried. But as far as I know, the frog didn't get in there, okay? And if it did, it's got stuck in the throat and it's not going any further than that. Oh, let's not talk about this. This is not nice, huh? We're all vegetarians here. So many thoughts coming now. Some liquid is on the way. Thank you so much, fellas. Excuse me. Let's see if that makes a difference. And if not, we'll just all end early. How about that? And then we will have to package everything up tomorrow. So, what is our takeaway? That's where we were. We've been finding out what our takeaway. And what does it mean to give up action? Does it mean that one is going to sit around not doing anything? That's the first question that should come to mind. If I'm going to give up action, I'm just going to sit somewhere quietly and not do anything. This isn't, as Puja Swamiji says, this is not what this jiva is here on this, this as though planet. That's not what this jiva is here for. Writing things. Give up being, you give up being the doer. Yes, but who's the giver up? We have to ask. And so we're going to come back to that in a minute, maybe. One has to just laugh. Oh dear. Okay, so let's see if it'll hold up a little bit longer at least. Let's see if we can make it at least till 2 o'clock, okay? So, James is suggesting one has to give up being the doer, but who's the one who's giving up? That giver-upper has to be given up as well, okay? So let's look at what this actually means. And as I was just about to tell you before the throat nearly gave up, everything seems to be giving up today. It's very fitting. The whole class is about letting go of things, okay? So everything is being let go of today. So when the sannyas says, or when the jnani says, that there's no action, and when the Gita says you have to see actionlessness in action. Wait a minute, can you say that again slowly? Actionlessness, i.e. no action, okay? When do you see no action? In action. Wait, so someone sitting there in action, is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about somebody's moving around and I've got to see actionlessness in that moving around? What? No, wait, I'm really confused now. So it all comes down to where the I is placed. And as Puja Swamiji says, we'll try and get this sentence out this time, the jiva is here with what? These organs of action. Limbs, right, for walking, arms that can do all sorts of things. Not only that, hands like this that have thumbs on them. Although we shouldn't say too much today because everything seems to be getting renounced quickly. We don't know that something might start dropping off of the body here in a minute. So limbs, fingers, feet, mouth, or eyes, we have all of these organs that seem to promote the idea that there is action taking place, right? If jivas weren't supposed to act, then surely Bhagavan, being all knowledge, would have just had these heads, right, with a little solar panel on top. So you didn't have to really eat, you could just roll around with a little solar panel on top of the head to give the energy to get rolling from one place to another. And then you can gain the knowledge because, you do have the ability, there's a teacher head rolling around, which can talk, and everybody, they've got the little ears. You don't have to eat anything, like I say, because there's a little solar panel on top and you just get the energy straight from the sun. It'd be a bit rough here in Oregon in the winter. I suppose at that point your punya unfolding in your birth, so as though birth would be depending on where you were born, in a sunny country or a not so sunny country. If you're in a sunny country, though, just imagine all day rolling around really fast because so much energy being generated. So, but that's not how we are, right? No, we have these organs of action, and we can move around. So we must be something different when we're talking about seeing actionlessness in action. Yes, that's true, James. So, so what is it? How are we going to actually see this actionlessness in action? Well, we've talked about one of the things. We need to first of all have an instrument that is prepared. What does that mean? That means to have relative shanta within the buddhi, relative quietness, so that one is able to sit and listen to the knowledge. Not only to do the shravanam, not have one's mind wandering over, oh, I wonder if the door lock's going to fix that. Wow, it's going to be really strange tonight if there's a hole in the door and there's no way to lock the door. No, the mind is not doing all of this, okay? The mind is here in the class and it's paying attention to what is going on, and it's not thinking about what's going to come for lunch afterwards or the chocolate that might come or whatever else it is. It's here in the class paying attention. What kind of mind? A mind that has some relative shanta. The mind is a very rapidly moving instrument, and unless there is some relative peace within the mind, it is not going to be able to sit still and do the shravanam that is required for Vedanta. So this is one of the things that we need to have at our fingertips, is some relative shanta. We've talked about also doing this karma yoga. Why are we doing the karma yoga? This is just kind of a recap, just make sure we're not losing track of everything. Why do we do karma yoga? What is karma yoga good for? What's the attitude of karma yoga for? Moksha. Ragadvesha management. Very good. Thank you. See, they're all paying attention and they're probably at different time zones, so it's not that after lunch slump, or pre-lunch slump, either way. So Ragadvesha management, yes, that is why we do karma. That's why we develop this attitude of karma yoga, okay? And how do we develop this attitude of karma yoga? That we have to look into. And we ended up actually last time talking about what is your duty. And so your duty are those things, that they are the things that come attached to the roles that one has in life, essentially. And we talked about all the areas of dharma. If you remember, we were talking about how many different areas of dharma there was that are covered by the Dharma Shastras, and many, many areas. And in all of those areas, there are roles to play. And so in those roles, one will find one's duty. And it's very easy, I mean, some of it is it's a no-brainer. One is to get up in the morning, One is to then do service to the world by, going through the daily ablutions. Then one is to, do service to this particular body, mind, sense complex by giving it something to keep it going through the day. Because unlike this nice idea of having little heads rolling around, we don't have a little solar panel. Not that it would have mattered in the last 2 weeks in Eugene. Nobody would have been in class for the last, actually since the course began, nobody would have been in class. No energy would have been there because it has been cloudy and rainy, but the sun is coming through today. Oh, and it actually has come through. We were told it would, and it has come. So, and that's another piece about it. It is better to do your own duty imperfectly. So this is another place where we can, have start to cultivate some sort of say over our ragadveshas, okay? Too many thoughts are coming, so I have to bring the mind back by looking down and saying, okay, we'll stay with what's here, okay? This is what I was saying earlier. Too many thoughts were coming to be able to finish everything up, trying to put them in a neat little package, so we have to bring the mind back in a little bit. So then how are we going to develop this? We know that this giving up of doership, this seeing actionlessness in action, we know that that is something that comes through knowledge. So we know, we've talked about what's going to, how we should go about preparing ourselves for the knowledge. We've talked about at length about raga-dvesha management. We've talked about the different types of dharma. We've talked about most of the things that we need to cover. But now I'm really, really am wanting, the hair is like burning now, and I really would like to get to the point where I really can be someone who understands this. It's all very well sitting here and talking about it, but I'm not feeling it, okay? And this is one of the big, how do I feel that? How do I experience that? And as Swamini Ji says all the time, I owe you, every experience is the truth of what is, okay? Every experience. There's no single experience that you have without the presence of Brahman. It's just that one has to move that I from being associated with body, mind, senses. Is that it? Is that really it? Yeah, because the mind, it sounds like there should be so much more, right? Because once one says the mind, what walks in? The emotions, all the pranas of various different kinds, telling this, that, and the other. What else we have walk in at that point? The memory, and we have all the... I should put this by you too, I think, Ramagiri, so you can tap it once in a while. It likes to be tapped. The memory. So what else do we have in our mind? We've done the emotions, the memory, the decisive factor, right? The one that says, I am the karta, right? The doer, the doer, the doer. Which is the other one? If there's guilty, who's the other one? The hurty, huh?
The enjoyer.
The enjoyer, yes. Yeah, hurty. Hurty, guilty is doer, right? And hurty is the victim, right? Sorry, not the victim. Hurty is the victim. Hurty's the one who's experiencing everything, yeah. Bhakta is probably, bhakta we usually translate as enjoyer, but I say we usually, that's what you see it translated at. But it's a misnomer, because really, who enjoys every experience that comes along? Unless, of course, one has prasada buddhi the whole way. So all of these things we are areas that we have to really make sure that we're focused on. And it's not something that is going to just happen. It worked like that, okay? It's not going to, no, it doesn't always work for me, but the body's doing that today. So it's something that one grows into. And this is where this next verse, I think it's verse 5.6. Did we do this one?
We did this yesterday.
We did this one? Oh, no, we didn't do it. Okay, all right. I didn't think we had. It's good that there was something in yeah. So this is where this verse 5.6 comes in. Yeah, I don't think we looked at this one yesterday. Okay, so we'll chant this one. Sannyasastu mahabaho. Sannyasastu mahabaho. Dukkhamaktum ayogataha. Dukkhamaktum ayogataha. Yoga yukto muni brahma. Yoga yukto muni brahma. Nachirenati gacchati. Nachirenati gacchati. 5, 6, 5, 13. Yeah, and there's one more after that, 1866, right? Our last one. So what are we saying here? This is actually what we've just been talking about. So this is going to go a little bit quicker here. So sannyasaha, right? So sannyasi to Mahabaho. Who's Mahabaho? Does anybody know the meaning of the word? Arjuna, yeah. Arjuna, but what is Mahabaho? Mighty armed. Well, I promised you all I'd talk about Arjuna's names, right? So this might be the time to do it. This might be the next distraction moment. This is why nothing was fitting in the box properly, okay? So, strong arms, that's right. The mighty warrior, essentially. So, the mighty warrior, brave person. So, Maha, great, we know that one, right? Mahavakya, what's a Mahavakya?
Great saying.
Okay.
Anything that equates the jiva.
Well done, thank you, Kate. Yes, Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Yes, it's actually the equation. Yeah, we say the equation between Jiva and Ishvara generally. So Mahavakya, yes. So Mahabahu, Bahu is literally arm. So the brave one, the strong one. So here Bhagavan Krishna is appealing to that strength of Arjuna. He's saying, you're a great person. And we're going to see the rest of the verse in a minute, but you're a really great person. As great as you are, this is very difficult to attain. And why is he saying that here? Because he's in the 5th chapter, and Arjuna keeps wanting to run away and go and sit under a tree in Rishikesh, okay? And every time he wants to go and run away and sit under the tree in Rishikesh, even though it's the same excuse coming up and over again, I don't want to fight these people. Sometimes Bhagavan Krishna is cajoling him back into place. Sometimes he's giving him some praise. And he's choosing to give him some praise here right now, because he's trying to explain how very difficult this is. What is to lead the lifestyle of sannyas, okay? So he doesn't want Arjuna to feel bad that he's, unaccomplished, and that he's, all of that he's done throughout life have led to nothing. He's telling him, no, you've done, great work. It's just that this requires even more than that. So what to say of all of us, who don't have to go out and sit in chariots and battlefields and things. So dukkam, Atam ayogataha, okay? So dukkam is what?
Misery.
Misery. But here it means something different. And sukham and dukkam are sometimes used like this in the Gita. So here it has the meaning of difficult. Yes, that's right. So dukkam, it's difficult. It's, it's just a little... We do the same in English. It's not the Sanskrit, It's nice when you're learning a language that there's one word, one meaning, and that's it. And don't change the meaning on me, because I'm not going to be able to remember that. Or, what do you mean? It's contextual. Well, this is how we all speak, okay? And Sanskrit is no exception to it. So dukkam here is difficult, okay? So what's difficult? Ayogataha. No, that's not what is difficult. Why? Because it's in the wrong case here, okay? So this is saying without, and yoga here is karma yoga, okay? So without yoga, without karma yoga, aptam, to obtain, is difficult. What? The sannyasaha, right? Right at the beginning of the sentence there. So sannyas, this idea of, and don't necessarily think of the person in orange, okay? This idea of being the non-doer is very difficult to attain without karma yoga. But for the munihi, where's that? In the second line, okay? It says munir here, but some sleight of hand, we're just going to call it the munihi. But for the munihi, For the person who is capable of reasoning, and which person? The Karma Yogi, the Yoga Yuktaha. Yoga Yuktaha is literally the one who is together. And so a Karma Yogi is one who is together. Why is the Karma Yogi together? Because by having this attitude of Karma Yoga, one is able to let go of all of these notions that are really the ones, I'm guilty of this, I'm hurt by that, which are really the ones that are driving all of the Ragadveshas. And so all of this is let go, because these two really pile on top of that sense of I am not enough, I am inadequate. And so what happens for the Karma Yogi, the one who is capable of reasoning? Adhigacchati is another word for, that's the same word, same word, same meaning as up, to gain, so attains, gains. What? Brahma. Ah, we've got there, yay! And when do we attain that? When do we do that? Nachirena. What does that mean? Very soon, not too long at all. So this is Bhagavan Krishna, like I say, he's encouraging Arjuna here, that Karma Yoga, you know, it seems like even in those days there was this, there may have been some look that the sannyas, you know, was going to understand things quicker, and that, you know, that it was much easier to become a sannyas than it was to do one's duty in the so-called, you know, in the other ashramas, and in the other varnas. And it seems like he's encouraging him and saying, no, it's actually easier for you within the role that you have here. And actually these varnas, in this day and age that the Gita was written, it was actually a very good system. The intention behind it was a very good system. How is it a good system? You know, you're telling me that this, you know, the word it's become known as is caste. Swamini Ji was teasing me about doing this the other day, but Janani does this, okay? So very, very American thing to do. So the caste system, and it's taken so much flack, especially since, you know, after all the invaders started coming in. So the caste system, really, the intention, like I say, behind it was very, it was well thought out on many levels, and a very intelligent design. How so? It took away competition. One knew what one was going to do in life, and there weren't these untouchables. That was something that came along after, you know, after the invaders, people started coming into India. So what one did in life, one could attain moksha, attain the highest good, no matter what role one had in life. And this is where, you know, this Karma Yoga is stressed so much here, and it's pointed out to Arjuna, in part, no small part, because of this attitude that it doesn't matter where you are in life, you have, not only do you have the right to be taught and to learn and to understand the truth of yourself, but you have the ability to do that as well. You have a duty, in fact, to be trying to understand the truth of oneself. And so this was the caste system, very different from how most of us understand it as a pejorative system, wherein one group of people are elevated and others are then, you know, put down to varying degrees, down to what had been called the untouchables. So very different system. And so here, like we just saw, Bhagavan Krishna is really encouraging Arjuna, just saying, you know, Karma Yoga, it is the way to go for you. And he had actually, no, he hasn't said it. This is in the 5th chapter. He hasn't actually come out point blank and said, yes, Karma Yoga is the one for you. But this, he is now talking again. He's again saying, this is the very... this is the best way for you to go, Arjuna. Sorry, it's obviously not working to read. That's the Varna system. Yes, that's right, the Varna system. Yeah, not the ashrama. Yeah, I changed it over to Varna system, okay? So, poor old Arjuna, he's not going to get away with running off the battlefield. He's going to have to stay here. He's going to have to do his duty. So, he's still not convinced, though. We'll give you that much for free. He is still not absolutely convinced. And part of why he's not convinced is because Bhagavan Krishna has also said, the one who understands that all undertakings are free from desire is the wise person. And he said this a little while ago. And Arjuna's picked up again on what you mean undertakings. Undertakings is a word implying action once again. So what do you mean? The wise person is acting, and he's saying, no, the wise person, he's not acting, but you've just said that they were doing something, that they're doing something. You know, John Cleese comes to mind, Basil Fawlty. Huh? I'm doing it. For any of you who've watched Fawlty Towers, that's and if you haven't watched it, it's a terribly un-PC. What's an un-PC? No, not PC sitcom from the 70s. I think aging self now. So from the 70s in England, and you can actually Google it and watch it on YouTube. Not right now, okay? Yes, and this John Cleese jumps up and down. He has this wife, and I'm doing it. So he's very identified with being that doer, that karta, okay? But for here, the wise person isn't acting. But you said the wise person was acting. No, you have to understand this. And so to the one who's not a jnani, it looks as if the jnani is acting. And what we have to recognize is that is just like the snake on the rope, right? Sarpa on Raju. What is that? It's a projection onto the jnani, and of the fact that they are acting. You know, I'm going to interrupt a minute. I am going to finish this class in a few minutes because I think we need to get this taken care of before tonight. Okay, so that is the one. Who is the actor is visible to the non-jnani. The jnani, of course, what acting? I'm not acting. And maybe some of you have had this experience with various teachers where you've thought that something happened and then been told, well, no, I never said that, or I didn't do that. And there's a head-scratching moment, and you're, am I imagining? Is this? And so again, it's one's understanding, and those are teaching moments for you. And when you have one of those moments with a teacher, you recognize this is a teaching moment. Where is that I placed? Okay. Where's a good example? The jnani doesn't act because the jnani knows he, she is consciousness and not the object, such as the body which known to consciousness. The jnani to be those objects. That's correct, James, yes. So where do we know? How do we know that this is really possible? Where do we see this on a nightly basis? I've just given the whole thing away. On a nightly basis, where do we see this? In the dream, right? In the dream. Who's the actor in the dream? You know, when you wake up, thank goodness, not all the debris is around the bed. You know, there was some strange dream coming. Some strange dream about Beatles the other night, okay? Not the ones that play music. I know we were just, aging ourselves in one way and talking about John Cleese, but no, not those kind of Beatles, but the black kind, the little black crawling ones. And they were giant ones, Luckily didn't wake up and they were all around. They were ever so friendly. They didn't talk, but they were very friendly Beatles, I have to say. But luckily for us, those are not all around the bed when we wake up. But who is the doer in those dreams? Does one wake up and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't swat at the beetles in the dream, okay? Johnny didn't swat. Whatever was there, the dreamer did not swat at the beetles. But, imagine you'd swatted at the beetles and told them, shoo, shoo, and got angry and maybe even, made chutney out of one of them. You wake up and there would be this guilty feeling, but no, none of that's there. So every night, if one remembers dreams, which not everybody does, there are moments where we see this action happening, but are not participating in that action. But who is that? It's nothing but this mind. It's nothing but a projection of this mind. So we know that this is possible. And so where's our Ragataveshas at that time? Well, they're all up there and raging and doing their things, but they're kind of all garbled up, right? It's just like a... Swamini used to say it's the throw up from the day's activities or the last month or something that's really there. So all of that's just burbling around, okay? So where is the I placed at that particular moment in time? Thankfully, it's not in the picture, okay? Because otherwise, what a life wandering around. Hard enough wandering around with this so-called logic that we use. But imagine having the illogic of the dream in the waking state too, and with that I placed in, being the beetle, and then being, the person who was swatting at the beetle. It'd be more confusing than normal. So the I is happily placed in its correct place. So let's take a look at our next verse. You see, nothing is here today. Here it is. We'll chant our next verse and then we'll pick this one up and the last one tomorrow. And it'll probably be, it'll go fairly quickly tomorrow. I promised you I'd go through the names. We'll go through the names very quickly after we've chanted this next verse, okay? Sarvakarmani, right? Sarvakarmani manasa, Sarvakarmani manasa, Sannyasyasте sukham vashi, Sannyasyasте sukham vashi. Navadvare puredehi, Navadvare puredehi, Naiva kurvan karayan, Naiva kurvan karayan. Okay. So we'll look at that one tomorrow. Let's just quickly look at Arjuna's names, as I told you that I would. And the voice seems to have come back to life a little bit, so we might as well just use it while it's here, okay? So I think Arjuna has 25 names. And let's see. Oh, I don't have all of them. We'll get the first half of them done, okay? So Anagha. Anagha, anybody? Any guesses? An is a negation piece, right? So agha, papa, word for papa, okay? So the one who's without papa. And so we won't talk about all the places where Bhagavan Krishna uses these, but Anagha is the one without papa, okay? So an Arjuna is, of course, a name. Oh, Arjuna is his name? Yeah, Arjuna's name too, okay? So this has different meanings, but it's obviously referring to the son of Pandu, okay? Pandu. Okay, and then Bharata, we see this one a lot. And what's this one? This one, it's son, yeah, that's right, descendant son of Bharata. And then Bharata Shabha, and that one is actually nice. It's got another little suffix on the end, which makes it the best, the chief one, the best one amongst the descendants. And another one meaning exactly the same, Bharata Sattama, So exactly the same. And another one, Bharata Shreshta. And that Shreshta is exalted, yeah. And then Deha Britam Vara, best of those that are embodied. Not embalmed, embodied, okay? English you can have lots of fun with too, you know.
Can you say the Sanskrit again for that?
Deha Britam Vara. Deha Britam Vara. I can send all these out to you, okay? So if you don't want to try and write them down, I'll send them all out to you. And then Dhananjaya, we all know that one. What's that one? Dhananjaya comes from, yeah, good, victory over, really it's over Ragadaveshas we can take as a whole, the one who's, you know, fairly, this Dhana is wealth. So, and then Tanudhara, what's that one? The archer, yes, very good. And then Gudakesha, I think it is the slayer of one. Yeah, I think you're right. Gudakesha. I think it's the slayer of one of the Kesha.
I think it was somebody.
Keshava. Yeah, Keshava. Kapitwaja. What's that one? Kapitwaja. We know that one. Kapi, what's Kapi?
Ever, never.
No, that's Api. Kapi? That's right, Solvig. You've got it.
What?
The one whose flag was marked with Hanuman. Kapi is a word for monkey. Not that Hanuman was a monkey. We must never make he was a what? No, thank you. He was not a monkey, okay? So yeah, the one who was, you know, sitting up. Swamini Ji did the great piece the other day, right? Oh, so boring. You haven't even seen a war until you've seen Rama in war. This is so boring. Oh, yeah, no, something's going on there now. Yeah, okay, I'll wake up for a minute. Okay, and then Kaunteya, what's that one? We all know that one. Son of Kunti, yes, that one's one that's popular. Kiriti. Yeah, they're getting this, they're doing very well. Famous, popular, yes, the one who's, you know, well known. We can say well known. Literally, the one with the crown. Kurunandana. Yeah, joy of all the, the Kuru clan, that's right, the joy of them, beloved to them. Kuru Pravira.
Would you like the founder of the Kuru?
It's nice, it was fun guessing this, isn't it, huh? It's especially fun when you've got them all written down in front of you because you knew that they wouldn't. Kuru Pravira. So Vira, what do we know to be about Vira? Vira? This is one of the first words in Antoine. Anybody who studied Antoine should... Hero, yes, well done, Kate. Yeah, a hero. So it's the best amongst the Kuru warriors, okay? And then we have this one. No, we didn't have this one. Kuru Sattama, the best among the Kurus. Kuru Shreshta, these are all sounding very like the other ones. And Virasana, no wonder, yes, that's right. Yes, and that one literally is translated as the warrior, the hero. And if you wait 1 second, I will try and find the rest of them so that we can finish this up, okay? Because I have to say that this was not something that I did when I was sitting in Anakati. I did not sit and, you know, like Swamini Ji jokes about the people who count up how many times this word appears in there. This was not, you know, this was not one of my pastimes, okay? I just got this list from somewhere else. Mahabahu, well, Mahabahu, we saw that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then Pandava, this is an easy one too.
That's from the Pandava.
The son of Bandhu, yep. Parantapa, that's a good one. Parantapa, several different meanings. So you can call that one the conqueror of the enemy, you can say. And also, I'm trying to think how that would work. Parantapa. Someone who is able to subdue, has some mastery over. And then Partha, easy, huh? Son of Kunti. Wait, you just said Partha. How come that's son of Kunti? Because it's another name for it, okay? And then Purusha Sabha, best among men. Purushas, I think that's written incorrectly. I think Sabha. It's not Shabha, I think it's Sabha. And then Purusha Vyagra. What's that? Vyagra, tiger. Yes. So what does that mean? Purusha, tiger. we haven't got to Samaras yet. Tiger man. All right. I've covered up what they're all saying here. Prantava. Yes. Yes. So a tiger among men, and then Savya. This one I don't remember. It says it's in. That's why I was going to say I'm not having any recollection. It's because it's in chapter 11. Chapter 11 is just so difficult to chant because it's that one where all the vibhutis, and it's just got so many words that we're not used to using. So here, let's try it. And plus it's written in this transliteration, which is very hard to read. Savyasachi. Savyasachi. Okay? Ambidextrous. You found it? Chapter 11, yeah? Yep.
Verse 33.
Verse 33, yeah. So the ambidextrous the ambidextrous archer. Why was that? Because it didn't matter which way he pulled the bow, he could do it both ways. And one, can you pull the bow is the first question, and then to be able to do it with both arms, that's something. And then here's a favorite, Tata. What's that? My friend, right? Tata. But what's Tata? Swamiji always used to say, I'm Tata, say. So lots of fun. Okay, so there's all the names. I will get those sent out to all of you, okay? You're welcome. All right, and we'll finish tomorrow. I promise we'll finish tomorrow, both verses, okay? And sorry for the technical difficulties today, but we're going to, Tata in Tamil means grandfather, and in Hindi, bye-bye. Ta, that is, okay. All right, so we'll say the closing prayer, and then I'll see you all tomorrow. No Sanskrit today, right? Somebody tell me there's no Sanskrit today, please. I just want to make sure there's no Sanskrit. No, it's tomorrow. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
There is no Sanskrit? Did you decide that on Saturday?
Is it scheduled for today?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. I thought so, tomorrow. Okay, good. So, yes, James, I'll catch you. Of course. Have to be, yes, no problem, James. I'll let Swamini Ji know. And thank you all. Thank you, Catherine. It was a class of many things happening, huh? ending up with many names. So we had to keep that whole many, theme going.
Another name, Tracy is here.
Namaste, Tracy. Glad you were able to be here, and sorry for the clicky. I think it was on your mic most. Yes, we will meet tomorrow for Gita, and I'm going to talk to Kate, and we'll meet for Sanskrit as well, okay? Oh, Pratama, no worries. We'll see you in a few hours. Oh. Well, thank you for getting the water. That seemed to do something